Today marks 7 years of the RJN channel. July 1st in Australia, 2015. That's when it started. I thought it would be cool to tell the story while we check out the MZ1 wireless. The mouse I designed, now made wireless. Check out Xtrfy's website for the details. So anyway, back in 2014, I was playing a friend and realized my aim wasn't as good as it used to be. I thought back to when I last aimed well, and it was with the Razer Diamondback. At the time, I had been using the Razer Death Adder for 5 years, which is a really big mouse. So I wondered, is it the size that makes it harder for me to aim? I started researching small mice, and the only one I could find that was good was the G302. So I bought that, and suddenly I could aim well again. The size seemed to be the reason. I then made a review, then bought more mice and reviewed those. I started really studying what helps us aim better. At the time, we had maybe 4 or 5 good mice on the market, and now I could make a top 100, and all of them would be better than what we had 7 years ago. I have a top 40 on my website of great mice, with half of them being awesome. It's amazing to see how far the industry has come. We had Zowie leading the way on shape for many years, Logitech bringing the advanced tech, first to do low latency lightweight wireless, Mouse with their ultralight designs, Razer and SteelSeries were trying to give gamers what they wanted, while Roccat, Cooler Master, Xtrfy and others all joined in to give us great mice. Even Corsair and HyperX now have some really good ones. It's been quite a journey. When I started the channel, companies were still using laser sensors and stiff cables, with adjustable weights, but only so the mice became heavier. Now all the top mice have optical sensors, soft flexible cables, and are almost half the weight of the mice back then. One mouse even came with a 13-gram weight installed, simply because people said they wanted a 100-gram mouse. That's just one of the things we saw as mice evolved so quickly. It's like a whole new industry was built around gaming mice, where we really started to see people care about which mice they used and why. And I've gone from player to reviewer to designer. It's still crazy to think a product I designed is being used as a main. And not only that, Xtrfy have made it into a lightweight, low latency, wireless gaming mouse. And they even gave me the option to have a replaceable back. At first they said we could just take a bit of height off the back, but I said no, if we're going to do that, let's go as low as possible, so it gives people a different shape to try. And now that I've used the lower back, I think I actually prefer it. I can use either, both are good, but I feel like the balance is a bit better with the lower back. The MZ1 is an experimental design. Xtrfy and I wanted a new shape on the market, so we weren't really sure how it was going to be received. Thankfully, it seems a lot of people are maining it now. We probably do need a bigger version so more people try it. I went with extra small on the design because I wanted a mouse that suited me. It would have been weird to design a mouse that I wouldn't use, so hopefully we can get more sales to justify the bigger version. Anyway, being experimental, I didn't think people would hold it back here. I've seen this grip a fair bit. Even a good friend of mine held it this way. I'm thinking the reason is that they based the grip on the high point being on their fingers, whereas I designed it for the high point to be on our palms. This low back means that the high point can be at their fingers again, so I'm hoping they'll be able to grip it further forward, which is the grip I designed it for. Shape is king, so being able to choose which one you want is great. Xtrfy have done a really good job implementing the customization. They've also made other improvements, like I wanted the top button to be usable after setting up the mouse, but that caused some issues in certain games with full screening, so it's now set to page down. I won't go through all the settings, you can check out the setup guide on Xtrfy's channel, but I'll just quickly show you the manual, so you can check battery life, change polling rate, set up the RGB or turn it off. Side note, there isn't as much RGB on this, because we wanted to save weight, and also battery life. It's still only about 60 grams, which is really good. Now back to the settings, you can also change liftoff distance and debounce. And you can do all that without software, which I do prefer. However, it would be nice to get some extra customization with a program that saves it to onboard memory and then just uninstall later. That may come, but for now I'm happy with this. You can also choose some different colors if you want a custom design. Jump on Xtrfy's website and see what you like best. So far, purple top shell has been really popular, with white or black base. Other features include USB Type-C for charging, and the cable is still a nice flexible braid, so you can play with it while it's on charge too. I play a fair bit of Apex these days, and I only seem to need to charge it maybe once per week, or about 4 or 5 days. Battery life seems solid. So for now, unless I figure out a better design someday, this is actually my end game. There's no such thing as perfect, but there's really nothing major I'd change on this. After 7 years, I now have the mouse I want, which is pretty cool to think about. As said, I would like to see a bigger version, but I think even this size could be a lot of people's main. That extra size will depend on demand. Side note, that's why we don't see many left-handed mice. There isn't enough demand for them. Companies that don't make profit tend to fail. So unfortunately, unless there's a lot of left-handed people out there who want this, I don't think we're going to see it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the MZ1 wireless. Thanks for the support over the last 7 years to help make this a reality, and for coming along the journey. Without the community showing so much passion, we wouldn't have this many amazing mice on the market. I said back then if you gave me your support, I'd take our requests to the companies. And that's exactly what I did. I passed on so much of your feedback. I was sending hundreds of emails, and having a lot of meetings, where I gave my own ideas, and also yours. I used to read every comment on my channel, to get a good read on where we needed to go with gaming mice. So the mouse industry being in such a good place, it's our victory. We did it. Good job everyone. I don't feel I have too much to offer now. I think it's done. I hope I get to design new shapes, because that's where I feel I can still add some interest. But otherwise, I don't think I'll focus too much on mice anymore. I'll make a few tech videos here and there, maybe some help ones. We'll have to wait and see. My main focus right now is actually rewriting my first novel. I want to publish it again, and chase that dream of becoming an author. So stay tuned for that. I'll do a video talking about it when it's ready. Until then, thanks again. Usual links below. Check out the MZ1 wireless, see if it's for you. Sub, like and share. Catch ya.
Combo kill. Red wins.